Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. The movie begins 15 years in the past with Monsieur Emile, who are spies in British intelligence on a secret mission. Later, Emile is in the bathroom with a pregnancy test, confirming she is pregnant. They head to the mansion where their mission is taking place, receiving instructions through their earpieces from Chuck, their boss in intelligence. Chuck informs them they must infiltrate a birthday party hosted by a terrorist named Jor, the leader of the terrorist organization Falk. Their goal is to retrieve an electronic device called the Key, which controls the industrial infrastructure, ports, and nuclear reactors in England. At the party, they manage to sneak into the office, open the safe, and retrieve the key. However, alarms go off, and guards intervene. Emile and Monsieur fight them off and escape. On their way out, they face more of Jor's men but defeat them using their skills. Chuck instructs them to go to the airport to meet their colleague Baron, who has prepared a plane for their escape. At the airport, Baron bids them farewell and wishes them a safe journey. On the plane, Emile tells Monsieur she's pregnant. Monsieur expresses his happiness and desire to start a family, despite their dangerous lives as spies. Emile, however, is concerned about raising a child in such a risky environment. Monsieur reassures her, saying they will find a solution. As Emile feels unwell, she heads to the bathroom only to discover it's out of service. She realizes something is wrong and signals Monsieur. Suddenly, a flight attendant grabs her and threatens her with a gun, demanding the return of the key. Monsieur throws the key to the attacker, but Emile manages to twist his arm and they fight him off. More of Jor's men appear on the plane, leading to a confrontation. During the fight, one of the men grabs a gun and tries to shoot Emile, but Monsieur intervenes. The bullet misses Emile but hits the pilot, killing him instantly. The plane crashes into an icy mountain, breaking apart and sliding down a slope. Emile and Monsieur find only one parachute. Monsieur insists Emile take it to save herself and their unborn child. However, Emile grabs him and they jump together, sharing the parachute and landing safely. Emile questions whether this is the life they want, especially with a child on the way. She suggests they fake their deaths, as everyone will assume they died in the crash and start a new life in America. Monsieur agrees, and they leave their past behind. 15 years later, they are living in America with their two children, Alice and Leo. They try to forget their old lives as spies and focus on raising their kids. They drop their children off at school, with Monsieur reminding Leo to take care of himself and use the tracking ring he wears if needed. Meanwhile, Emile watches Alice from a distance, unable to shake off her old habits as a spy. When Alice notices her parents spying on her, she confronts them, embarrassed in front of her friends. Back home, Emile tries to hack into Alice's laptop to monitor her activities, revealing her inability to let go of her past. She discovers Alice plans to go to a party at a nightclub. Worried, Emile and Monsieur follow her to the club, where they intervene to stop her from drinking or getting into trouble. A confrontation ensues with some boys at the club, and Emile uses her combat skills to handle the situation. One of the boys records the incident and uploads it online, but Monsieur deletes the video before taking Alice home. Alice confronts her parents about their invasive behavior and questions their fighting skills, suspecting they are hiding something about their past. The next morning, their former boss Chuck shows up at their doorstep. He reveals he knows they are alive because of the video posted online. He warns them that Jor has been searching for them for years, believing they still have the key. Emile insists the key was lost in the plane crash, but Chuck warns them of the danger they are in. Suddenly, a sniper shoots Chuck, killing him. Emile and Monsieur rush inside their house as they come under fire from outside, and they quickly go to the garage to get in the car and escape. They drive the car out of the garage, and George's men start shooting at it, but when they approach the car, they find it empty. It turns out that this was a decoy created by Massio and Emily to distract them and escape in another car from the house. George's men chase them with their cars. Emily is shocked and doesn't understand why they are being chased, as they don't actually have the key. Massio then reveals to her that he took the key from the plane before it crashed to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Emily is stunned because he had kept this from her. The chase between George's men and them continues. Massio explains further, telling her that he hid the key in a secret place at her mother's house in England. They need to travel to England immediately to retrieve the key and hand it over to British intelligence while seeking their protection. Emily asks him why he hid the key at her mother's house, and he tells her it was the safest place. At that moment, George's men get closer in their car and start shooting at them. Massio grabs a Coca-Cola bottle, puts a piece of candy in it, and throws it at the other car. The bottle foams up inside the car, obstructing the driver's view, causing the car to overturn. This allows Massio and Emily to get rid of George's men. Afterward, they quickly go to Alice and Leo's school, pick them up, and head to the airport. They tell the kids they are traveling to visit their grandmother in England. Alice and Leo are surprised to learn they have a grandmother living in England, as Emily had hidden this from them and didn't want component placement. On the plane, Emily and Massio are hesitant to reveal the truth to their children. Emily suggests that keeping the truth from them will keep them safe. She believes it's better not to let them know that their parents were spies in the past. When they arrive at the airport, they rent a car to drive to Emily's mother's house. On the way, they ask the kids not to use the internet or their phones. Alice and Leo don't understand why their parents are making such a request. At a gas station, Alice and Leo take some money from Masio to buy snacks at the restaurant, but they don't listen and turn on the internet on a hidden device Leo had. A little while later, Emily and Masio notice George's men showing up at the station. Masio grabs a fuel hose, lights it with his lighter, and uses it to fend them off. Emily gets involved in a fight with them. Meanwhile, Alice and Leo watch the scene from inside the restaurant. Masio and Emily manage to overpower George's men using their skills. Afterward, Alice and Leo get into the car quickly and they escape the area. Alice and Leo demand an explanation for what they witnessed. Masio and Emily are forced to admit they were spies for British intelligence 15 years ago and that the men they encountered at the gas station were chasing them. Alice and Leo are shocked by this revelation but find it logical, as they always sensed something mysterious about their parents. Leo is particularly amazed because he loves spy movies. He admits to his father that he used the internet on a hidden device he had. Masio takes the device from him and throws it out of the car. They arrive at Emily's mother's house and Alice and Leo are surprised to see that it's a huge mansion. They enter and meet their grandmother, Jenny, who is hunting birds with her rifle. Jenny reveals that she was also a former spy for British intelligence. She takes them inside her mansion and introduces them to her young boyfriend, Nigel. Nigel gives Leo a tour of the mansion while Emily and Masio talk to Jenny, explaining everything about the Key and the Falcon organization chasing them. From Emily's conversation with her mother, it's clear that their relationship is strained. Jenny blames Emily for not visiting or letting her grandchildren know they had a grandmother. Emily explains that she wanted her children to have a normal childhood, unlike the difficult one she had with her mother, who was also a spy. Alice overhears this conversation and finally understands why her mother kept their spy past a secret. It was to protect them from the hardships she herself endured. Masio then takes Emily to the secret hiding place near the mansion, where they retrieve the hidden key. At that moment, they hear the sound of a helicopter landing at the mansion. They rush back to the mansion and find that men have entered, tying up Jenny and Nigel. Masio and Emily surrender when they see their children, Alice and Leo, being held hostage. Masio holds the key in his hand and offers to hand it over on the condition that they don't harm his children. At that moment, Chuck appears, shocking everyone, as they had previously seen him shot and presumed dead. Chuck reveals that he was dismissed from British intelligence due to the plane crash and the loss of the key, which was deemed an unacceptable failure. He lost his job and many other things in his life. This led him to betray British intelligence and collaborate with George to get the key from Masio and Emily. He admits that he faked his death to manipulate them into retrieving the key, and his plan succeeded. Chuck takes the key from them. Meanwhile, Jenny manages to free herself, sneaks into the kitchen, retrieves a weapon she had hidden, and uses it to shoot George's men with tranquilizer darts. She fights the men using her old spy skills. Chuck hears the commotion outside. Masio and Emily seize the moment to attack two men and take their weapons. However, Chuck grabs Alice and Leo and threatens to harm them. Two men sneak up behind Masio and Emily, knock them unconscious, and take Alice and Leo onto the helicopter, flying away from the mansion. When Emily and Masio regain consciousness, Jenny informs them that Chuck has taken their children. They check the security camera recordings and see Leo signaling to them while being taken by Chuck's men. Leo had deliberately made a gesture to show them he was wearing a tracking ring. Using the ring, they are able to locate where they are being held, the museum by the river. He arrives at that place at night. Teak is there at the museum to conduct a secret auction to sell the key to George's competitors and make a fortune from it. To prove the power of the key to the competitors, he communicates wirelessly with his assistant, Denville, asking her to use the key to cut off the city's electricity and restore it moments later. This indeed happens before their eyes. He also asks her to open the river's water dam, which, if left open for too long, could flood the entire city and cause a disaster. Denville manages to remotely control the dam and opens it. At that moment, Mossy and Emily try to enter the place, but the guards stop them, and a fight ensues. As usual, they use their skills and manage to overpower them. Here, their colleague Baron appears with intelligence agents and tells them he knows Chuck took the key and collaborated with George. That's why they came to arrest him. They cooperate and enter the place where Chuck is. When Chuck sees them, he quickly flees. Mossy and Emily chase after him, and as they follow him out, two of George's men appear on motorcycles, armed with guns. At that moment, Grandma Jenny, holding a sniper rifle, uses her shooting skills to target them. Mossy and Emily take the motorcycles and ride quickly to catch the boat Chuck has taken their children on in the river. However, George's men pursue them on motorcycles, firing bullets at them. At the same time, Chuck communicates wirelessly with his assistant, Denville, asking her to meet him on the other side of the river and bring the key. Emily successfully gets rid of the motorcycles chasing her and rushes to catch the boat Chuck is on before the open bridge closes, making it impossible to catch him. She steals a speedboat and drives quickly, letting Mossy join her. Meanwhile, Nigel, Grandma Jenny's lover, is waiting in his car behind the museum. By coincidence, he sees Denville, Chuck's assistant, leaving and getting into her car. He crashes into her car to stop her, gets out, and finds her unconscious beside the key and the laptop she uses to operate the key. He contacts Grandma Jenny to inform her he has the key. She instructs him to use it to close the open bridge quickly. Nigel tries to use the laptop to operate the key, but initially struggles. Meanwhile, Emily and Mossy reach Chuck's boat with the speedboat, jump onto it, and confront Chuck's men. At the same time, Nigel manages to decrypt the laptop and gives the command to close the bridge. The bridge begins to close as the boat speeds toward it on a collision course. Emily orders Alice and Lee to jump into the water, and they obey. Simultaneously, Mossy fights with Chuck, and Emily also strikes him before they quickly jump off the boat. The boat crashes into the closed bridge and catches fire. Afterwards, Emily, Mossy, and their children emerge from the water. Mossy feels proud of what his son did, waving at them with his ringed hand in front of the camera. Emily hugs her daughter, Alice, as well as her mother, Jenny, and they all leave together. Emily and Mossy promise they will never do such things again and will live a peaceful life. Later, we see Alice on a soccer field, taking a penalty shot and scoring a goal, leading her team to victory. Mossy and Emily are thrilled for their daughter and celebrate with her. Emily talks to Alice, telling her she can freely go out with her friends and promises not to spy on her or monitor her anymore. They let her go celebrate with her friends after she promises to take care of herself. Mossy and Emily get into their car, only for Baron to appear in the car, startling them. Baron informs them that Chuck's body wasn't found after the boat collided with the bridge, meaning they are needed for a new mission. The movie ends. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all new updates. See you in the next video. Goodbye.